Hello, uh, welcome to this new session about artificial intelligence and bots. I am Julio Garcia and I'm going to guide you about these two very important concepts about the information that we can offer to our users. Artificial intelligence is something that is a global concept about actions and learning, auto-learning that machines can grow without human intervention. So we are going to go deep with bots. What is bots? What is a bot? What happened? How can help a bot in artificial intelligence? For this session, we are going to divide it in 3 steps. First of all, answering you about what is a bot fundamentals. Next, we are going to continue with bot and cognitive services and the integration with both of them. And finally, how to publish a bot, right? Perhaps you have, let's see, you have seen something about, for example, cognitive services. And what is cognitive services? Let's go here. Here. Cognitive services is small applications that you can use to do a small thing. For example, if you have a vision, you have a little application online, for example, in a cloud that lets you to know what have an image inside it and to tag it to have difference between all of the image. Another cognitive services are about voice, languages, and so on. And why do we need a bot? Because as you have this cognitive service as a small application, you have to have a bigger application that integrate all of them. So a bot is an application that you have online that you can access from one machine, from a mobile, and so on, and that let your users to interact with your services or obtain some kind of information, right? So as any applications you can create with different languages. For example, C++, for example, C#, for example, JavaScript, and so on. When you create these applications, you have to have a development tool. For example, Visual Studio or another one. So when you begin to create a bot, you have different developers that have this kind of tool. So Visual Studio is the best friend for a bot developer, right? And what can we do with this kind of application? Well, for example, I show you something that sure knows, is Microsoft Azure, is the cloud of Microsoft Azure. when you have this kind of application, this bot, you have to publish it here. Of course, in this cloud or in another cloud. It's the only cloud when you can publish a bot. We use Microsoft Azure because it is very stable and is very useful for our needs. So you can create different resources, and one of them can be a bot. But when you create a bot, is an empty bot. It only do as an example code do. So you have to create the bot here from Azure, and then you have to download the code and create your own bot from that, right? Of course, you can create a bot from zero, but I suggest you do it in this manner, right? Let's see what I'm telling about with this kind of applications and where can you see it in Azure, where can you see it in a tool like Visual Studio. For example, here I've got different projects and different resource groups. This is not a step in this session, and you can see, for example, here I've got a bot called bot num400. If I push on it, I can see here main information about this bot and the configuration of another resources in Azure. For example, I can see channels, build, and so on, right? Well, when you have a bot published, previously to publish in your own web, for example, you can test it in different tools. For example, here in Azure, you can test a bot. Here, you can operate, you can restart the bot, and you can update your information, right? Let's go to Visual Studio. Let's go here. I've got some samples, and here I've got our Visual Studio with different programs open, projects. Sorry. For example, let's see one of them here, a core bot. Here is the structure of a bot. A bot has different elements. For example, it has a main code. It has different personal cards. It has controllers. It has recognition of cognitive models, and you have to create in this manner. When you have this project compiled and completely functional, you have to publish it. You can publish it from here. For example, here you can see publish. You can create this application in Azure, and then you can publish in different environments when you can see it, right? For example, I've got a bot, right? I've got a bot, and I've got a bot here in Azure. And as I've got a bot here in Azure, I have published in a website. For example, num4. Here I've got a bot. You can see when this is a simple bot, when you say, for example, hello, this is a bot that do some kinds of things. For example, if got cards that offer you different things. These cards can be static or can be dynamically refilled. So you can create a lot of intelligence inside the bot. But then you can create a conversation about the bot. For example, in this kind of bot, I can search a course. For example, this one. I have searched about a MCCE course, or for example, I've got another sections that I have created. You can see the answer is about what a user or a client need. So this is a small vision about what is a bot and how can we use it, right? Let's go slowly and go step by step how can we do it. For example, we can begin here in Azure in creating a new bot. You can create a new resource. Even you can create a new result bot, for example, web app bot, and pushing creates and go on with the different steps. So you should have created a new bot, a new let me tell in this manner, stupid bot. It doesn't do a lot of things. Then when you have it, you can from here, from Azure, download the code and open a new Visual Studio with a project. Let's go to, let's see, for example, core bot. For example, here. Here, you've got a new bot with the project and the new sections. The new sections have different kinds of elements, and one of them can be, for example, main dialog. In main dialog, you can analyze what the bot asks for the user and what should the bot answer the user. Here is an element very important. Have I to create every code for everything that the bot answered to me? Not. If so, you shouldn't need, for example, cognitive services. Inside here, inside the bot, it works with those cognitive services. So, for example, in this step of code, it has some information that have received from another application. For example, Luis is an important application that recognizes some kind of phrasal or of concepts that a user interact with the bot, and it has put here in this code. And I have asked for an exam, for a course, for a license, and so on, and I have to do some kind of action when the bot decide that a user is asking for license, for example. And this is what I have to code as a developer, right? If not, it won't work correctly. And here you can divide in different sections, and you have to create some kind of information too. For example, when you after it you publish on Azure, you have to put an ID and a password and so on to publish it correctly. Let's try, for example, this bot. I have compiled, it is okay, and I'm going to execute. I am developer, I execute it, I publish in somewhere. In this example, I am publishing locally in localhost and with the port number, right? Well, how can I test it? How can I use it in first time when I trying to use a bot? You have two possibilities. One of them is again coming back to here to Azure. Let's see if it goes here. Remember, testing web chat. This is a possibility, but you have another more important. That is, for example, downloading and using bot framework emulator. Let's go to it. Bot framework emulator. What is bot framework emulator? It's an easy tool that let us to open bots remotely or locally and test it in order to test their functionality or to debug it. So I am running this bot in this local host and port. So I am going to open this bot. Open this bot, and you can see I can see a lot of bots that I can open from here, from a file, or for example from our let's see a history that we have in another bot, right? Well, it is connecting. Here you've got a log. It's the same bot that I have published, and I can test it. Hello. Here it tells our information about our bot, and here in this right side it says about the bug and different options and different call to cognitive services that work inside our bot. When we have tested completely and we know this bot is useful, we can publish it and we can use it online, right? So this tool is vital, is very, very important for a developer to use it. It's a free tool. You can download it and you can use it with every bot that you are using, right? Well, let's go to next step for the knowledge about the bots. We know that we have bots and we can configure it and we can program it, but what have to do a bot? Only having an answer? This is a bot that only shows an answer, or if I push in an URL, it can go, it can show us a new web with different information, but we can go deeper in another bots. Let's see. For example, let's execute another bot. For example, here, for example, picture bot. Picture bot is another bot. I'm going to execute it. I have configured it to execute it and publish in another different port. So can I use the previous tool, bot framework emulator, to open two different bots and work with both of them? Of course, I can go here and I can open, for example, picture bot, or if I know the port, I don't remember the port. It was 3000. Okay, open bot 3000. excuse my memory, 78, right. Connect. Here I have two bots, one in this side and one in this another. In this is another bot. This is a bot that previous bot have integrate Luis, and this bot has integrate different kinds of elements. For example, it says what it can do. For example, search pictures. I want a bot must be intelligent, must ask me again, you have searched for pictures, but you haven't told the bot what kind of pictures. If I tell, for example, I want pictures about man, it says about pictures in my database that have information about man. So it shares, this bot is integrated with vision and with some kind of search. In this case, isn't exactly Luis. Is another version. But if, for example, if I put another phrase, find a picture of water, show. Here I've got a picture of water, so it should open it. Here, this bot isn't finished correctly, so if it asks me again for what kind of picture are you seeing for, I have to repeat. It isn't okay, I have to repeat. But in this case, it have searched for the different photos with water inside. Look, the difference between the first search and the second search is here. In the first search, I haven't used Luis for knowing with a cognitive service about what a user is asking for. And in this second, I am using Luis, and it says that you probably are asking for searching pics with a very big probability about searching. Search pics, find a picture, right? This is the integration inside a bot and cognitive services. Not always. In first searching, I haven't used Luis cognitive service. In second one, I have used these cognitive services. Why use cognitive services? Because in first search, I have to program it. I have to do a lot of lines of code. In second search, I haven't to do this lot of kinds of codes, right? So it's very useful having different kinds of cognitive services integrated inside a bot. Here, how can we see inside the picture bot? Well, we've got different libraries, different calls, different information for configure these cognitive services, and so on, right? Only this kind of bots. No, let's go with another bot, more intelligence. Let's go, for example, let's go here, core bot. Let's go here. Let's see what does this bot. I am executing. Here, Let me 1 second. I'm going to stop another 2 bots because I'm going to my computer haven't got so memory for all the bots executing and showing and the records, right? Okay, and let's go to this word. Let's go and let's see if I can execute this third bot, picture bot. No, this one isn't what I want. I'm going to close it, so this isn't a problem for me. Core bot. Let's see if this is what I need. 1 second. See. Let's see. It is another bot in another port. 3009 and 79. Right. Let's open a bot framework emulator. Let's open. This is this one. Connect. Oh, let's see. This is something usual. When you test different bots, you have to use some kind of ID and password for use them, right? So let's see if I've got it in a welcome. Let's see here. I've got it those credentials. Oh, it is working with another one. Let's see. Picture bot. Well, let's do it correctly. I told you it was this section, what URL, this connection. Let's try to find this app ID, app password, right? Let's see. I've got different bots. This case, for example, and I've got the ID and the password. Framework emulator and password. Framework emulator again and connect. This is a better answer for the bot, right? Well, I've got the third bot. What does it do? For example, hello. This bot tells me this is a booking bot. So when you try something, for example, for book a flight, it has some intelligence and it says, okay, I'm bot that I can book a flight. Tell me the options to book this flight. For example, I want to go to Berlin, right? And from where you can you are going to travel from Madrid. For example, of course, if I'm going, this is a booking bot. I need the date you are going to travel. For example, 15 of June. It tells, hey, I'm sorry, I don't understand this kind of data. Well, I'm going to put another date. Tomorrow? Yes, I understand it. you are going to travel from Berlin, from Madrid to Berlin tomorrow, 26th of September. It is okay. This bot have done everything we want. We put in yes, and this yes, what does? With this yes, send the message about the booking from the bot to another application from booking, and if everything is okay, it come back from to here and tell us that the book has been done. So you only need a bot for interact with your users and answer different kinds of questions perfectly, but another bots are more efficient and call another applications, for example, a booking application, and you can create it to do them. Finally, we are going to see the another special bot, a little different. For example, a bot about sounds, about voices. Here I've got a different samples. I'm going to execute it, and this is about a very different bot. It tells me that I have a screen with different options about speech and recognition. All of them are not prepared for this demo, but for example, one of them should work. For example, the first one, speech recognition with microphone input. If I push one, hello, I am pushing some voice from the microphone, and you should see it in the translate screen. You can see it. The first I have speak to the microphone has been recognized with this kind of options, right? It has got a lot of them, and you can integrate it with vision, with the searchings, and so on. It's a different kind of integration, but it's very useful. Well, you can see we've got a different bots, different options, and so on. And what can I do when my bot is working? When my bot is working, I have integrated with one of them. I have to publish. When you publish your bot, let's stop it. You can publish from here, from a profile you can create. You can publish, for example, from GitHub. You know, GitHub is a repository, is a place online that you can put some kind of projects, and you can publish with different kind of manners. When you publish to Azure, let's go to Azure and Explorer here. Here we got an overview with this. I don't remember this. It is one example of bot. It helps you to plan if you don't know how to begin with the bot, if you have to test it, if you have to build it. But if you want to publish, you have information too. For example, to download the code, to test the code, to publish directly from Visual Studio or from GitHub. And after it, you have it online. Of course, you have it online. You have some information about a web that is online, but you only you don't usually tell your client, go to this website and you can interact with the application in this website. No, you usually include this application inside your your own website, inside your own application, inside your Cortana, and so on. It is called channel. When you have to publish your application, you have to publish in different sections online. Default is web chat. Is an iframe that you can put it in different web pages. This one as the one bot that I showed you. But there are another different kind of channels. For example, Cortana channel. For example, if you use Office 365 and so on, you can use this your bot inside Teams, inside Skype, and you can publish your bot in another places. Yes, of course, you've got another samples here about Telegram, email, Facebook, and so on. So you can create your application, publish it online, and then in different channels you can publish to put it for your public, right? When it is published, when it is used, what happened to your bot? Your bot shouldn't be static. Your bot should grow and should learn with your different cognitive services and your different information. You can add it again and again, right? And I think it is a good vision about what does let's see what that's a bot and what you can do with a bot. Of course, if you need more information about it, you can see our courses. We can see our services that we offer to our clients, and we can help you to create your own bot, to maintain it, to offer you a suggestion about what to use for your needs and so on, right? I hope it should be clear, and I give you a first vision for working with bots, and see you in future. Thank you very much, and bye.